Hello to all of you, and thank you so much for joining us. I'm Netta Irampour. And now, here at CBS 8, we are working for you. We're listening to your concerns, investigating your questions, and finding solutions that matter in our community. We're going to start in Logan Heights today, where people say they're seeing more homeless encampments. Some believe it's because the city of San Diego has been clearing them out of places like East Village and nearby areas. And now neighbors and many business owners say it's starting to take a toll. CBS 8's Brian White working for you on this and has more on what residents are seeing.
People in Logan and Sherman Heights say homelessness isn't new here, but lately the number of encampments has surged.
Since August, since the freeways began to get cleared by the city and Caltrans, I noticed that there's just way more encampments happening along Imperial Avenue. I am seeing people take over the sidewalk completely. I'm talking about 1, 2, 3, 4 tents in a row.
Felix Lopez says it's not just about optics, it's creating real safety and access issues for families and businesses.
It makes me feel like the problems from downtown are being pushed onto us, and we're being left on our own to basically deal with those issues.
And business owners say they're feeling it too, like John Morellis, who owns an art gallery on Imperial.
I got to step over a homeless person to get in my door, and so it really creates a sense of kind of almost hopelessness. Like, what are we doing here?
Since July, city crews have removed 88 tons of trash in over 100 cleanups along downtown freeways. They're now allowed to do so because of a new agreement with Caltrans.
People are just not used to seeing faces come out there. And, we're seeing a shift in people moving in different spots, but we feel this is actually an opportunity where we can make contact regardless of where the person is at.
Franklin Coopersmith with Environmental Services says they have teams in place to respond quickly to get it done reports, but some people say the encampments often just move from one side of the street to the other without any lasting change.
This solution is just pushing the problem towards other communities, and I believe that there needs to be more cooperation to actually get a real, meaningful, long-term solution.
And that was Brian White reporting. When those freeway cleanups happened over the past 2 months, several people did decline services. However, more than 50 people have now been connected to shelters. We now have an update on a working for you story. A San Marcos pet cremation business recently shut down without warning, leaving dozens of owners without their pets' remains. The city has since entered the business, and a competitor is now helping those families. CBS 8's Steve Pritis has been tracking this story for weeks and has helped several owners reunite with their pets' remains. So here he is with the latest developments.
I am still getting emails and texts from grieving and, quite frankly, frustrated customers who are struggling to get their animals' remains returned. But tonight, a little bit of good news. Slowly but surely, we're making some progress.
It just broke my heart. I just wanted to see how we could help.
Jerry Wellman reached out to me after seeing our stories about Angel Paw's pet cremation shutting down without warning. Inside the San Marcos business, dozens of cremated remains that haven't been returned to customers.
We have to bring some closure to people with their pets.
Jerry is the general manager at Sorrento Valley Pet Cemetery, so I put him in touch with Angel Paw's owner, Chris Settle, and Jerry made a very generous offer.
Chris, let me do the cremations for the pets you have. Let's help give the closure to the owners. Let's help give back ashes.
Jerry says Chris dropped off 33 animals on Saturday for communal pet cremations, meaning those owners do not want the remains returned. Hours later, our cameras were there as the city of San Marcos entered Angel Paw's to see the business for itself. We're told all animals were properly stored, but what about the returning of ashes from private cremations already completed?
He died in my arms.
Tony Faust brought Puppy to Angel Paw's in July. 5 weeks later, she came back to find the business closed. And when I spoke with her last Tuesday, she feared she'd never see Puppy again. But I was able to connect her with Chris, and on Friday, Tony got Puppy's remains.
Cannot thank you, and Channel 8 enough for covering the story, because it just really helped a lot.
Chris says he is still trying to return all remains by Friday, but won't confirm exactly where things stand. That said, Jerry is ready to help the moment he asks.
Let's give closure to everybody, the pets, the owners, and the story, basically.
I asked Chris for an on-camera interview. He declined, but he did say that he would reach out to me this weekend to let me know if he reached his goal of getting everyone their remains back by Friday. In San Marcos, Steve Price, CBS 8.
And now for years, we've shown you this. You've probably seen it. A glaring eyesore right in the middle of University City. I mean, this is across the street from UTC. These empty storefronts, boarded up windows. The Costa Verde shopping center has now become the poster child for stalled redevelopment. This was a spot I used to go to all the time with my grandma. There's a bookstore right there. It used to be. CBS 8's Brian White working for you to find out what's going on, and he has some good news.
Yeah, this used to be one of the busiest spots in University City, but for years now, it's been fenced off and falling apart. But now a new owner is looking to turn all this into something much more.
The 14-acre Costa Verde site just cleared a key hurdle at the Planning Commission. Now it heads to City Council next month. The plan? Tear down the old strip mall here and build a vibrant new community.
Sometimes it's an eyesore. I mean, it's not always the best thing to look at. It would be nice if it was a little more pleasant, a little more lively.
The only action here in recent years was a military exercise. Loud booms and low-flying helicopters caught people living around here by surprise one night more than 2 years ago when the U.S. Army carried out combat training around the empty storefronts. Under previous owners, plans for bioscience labs and retail stalled out for years with no progress. But this year, new ownership is bringing forth new plans, calling for thousands of homes, ground floor shops, and restaurants spread across 13 different blocks, along with a pedestrian-friendly Main Street.
It's kind of wasteful for the land, you know? Yeah. I'm hoping for something to kind of grow in this place.
The $124 million property is now owned by London-based Global Mutual. Local developer Cass Street Ventures is behind the master plan, which includes housing, retail, and even a boutique hotel.
It's also nice that they are planning on making it a mix of not just residential, but also a little bit of more stores, more things like that. I think that's better for the UCSD community.
The project goes before San Diego's City Council on October 20th. If approved, demolition would begin next year. And by 2028, this long blighted property could finally become a neighborhood gem. Brian White, CBS 8.
At least now we know change is coming. Still ahead, scammers are targeting victims by tugging at those heartstrings. We're going to show you how a local family lost hundreds of dollars in a sophisticated puppy scam. Plus, how our viewers stepped up after the story about the Miramar National Cemetery. And now to this story, a San Diego family that thought they were adopting a dog instead found themselves victims of a nationwide scam. CBS 8's Abby Black working for you to share what happened and what you need to know to protect yourself.
Sophisticated puppy scam involving stolen identities has bilked families out of thousands of dollars nationwide and one here in San Diego. We're working for you to show you how these criminals operate to keep it from happening to you.
After our first dog passed in mid-May,
after the McClurg family lost their 11-year-old pug Rodney, the Linda Vista home felt empty.
as any pet owner, to fill the void of not having someone greet you at the door.
Video of a pug named Chili on pugsandpaws.com captured their hearts.
Yeah, you get suckered in when you see the adorable photos of the dogs. Your heart just kind of begins to melt.
At only $750, the price seemed right.
Like, where do I sign up for it?
Callum McClurg says that the website appeared legitimate with American Kennel Club certifications. The family sent the money via Apple Pay to a Ronald Duda and received a flight itinerary.
Oh, you need to still pay us $1,380 for a air-conditioned crate to ship the dog from Boston. We will then threaten you with federal charges for animal abandonment if you don't pay.
When Apple Pay blocked the second payment and the bank warned of fraud, the family investigated and found countless complaints online, AI or stolen pictures and video with no audio.
Like, that's when all the alarm bells and the red flags began to be raised.
Hi, Mr. Duda.
We called the real Ronald Duda in Massachusetts. The 76-year-old told us that his identity was stolen, and he shared with us other pet schemes under his name. Police do confirm with us that they are investigating. The scammers even sent the McClurgs a copy of Duda's identification.
Driver's license, a notoriety stamp.
When the McClurgs confronted the scammers, they received a bizarre email with political claims and threats.
We kind of just played them on for a few days to get them to finally break and kind of snap.
We wanted to know how to keep this from happening to you. We reached out to the Better Business Bureau, and they recommend that you never buy without seeing the pet in person or a live FaceTime video. Do a reverse image search on photos. Avoid wire transfers and cash apps. Be suspicious of deals too good to be true.
Thankfully, we were only got a little bit of money, but it still sucks to have fallen for it, and it still hurts.
If you encounter a suspicious pet seller, report it to authorities and the Better Business Bureau. Working for you in Linda Vista, Abby Black, CBS 8.
And now back in July, we told you about the deteriorating flagpoles at Miramar National Cemetery and the push to raise funds for repairs here. We can tell you the goal has been met thanks to viewers like you. Nearly 300 donations poured in from all around the country after our story first aired, raising more than $87,000. An anonymous viewer even offered to match donations. And now repair work is underway on the nation's only avenue of flags, where 50 flags have proudly stood since 2012.
It'll give us an opportunity to kind of reset all of them to like new conditions, and we hope that will again last for another 10 to 15 years.
Repairs now include replacing corroded parts and threading new cables 30 feet up. They're very tall. We're told the work should be finished in a few months. Up next here, CBS 8 gets quick results after we started digging into a severely damaged road. Look at this. We're going to show you what happened after this quick break. So glad you're staying with us here on CBS 8 Plus. The city of San Diego wants to raise fees for businesses that offer valet parking, the majority of which are located downtown. It's not a small increase. In the past, businesses paid the city $600 for an annual permit. Well, now the city wants to add another $5,000 for anyone with 44 feet of space. That's the equivalent of 2 parking spots. And then for anything more, it's an extra $15,000 per space inside the city's special event zone, which most downtown restaurants and hotels are right around Petco, since the zone extends a half mile around the park. It's an extra $10,000 per space if you are outside of that zone. The general manager at the Marriott in the Gaslamp says they would see their permit cost skyrocket to more than $95,000 a year.
We're owned by one person. We're not part of a corporation. We have our minimum wage that will be going up in July. Our electric bill generally is around $100,000 a month.
The city says the price hikes are needed to make up for lost revenue from what would be metered spots. But critics argue the city assumes the meters are always full and are bringing in money 24/7. This proposal will soon go before the full city council for a final vote. We have an update now on efforts in La Jolla to break away from the city of San Diego and form its own city. A judge scheduled a key hearing for next month, and that's when the Association for La Jolla Cityhood, that group, hopes to dismiss the city of San Diego's lawsuit blocking the cityhood petition. If the judge sides with those pushing for a separate city, the association will conduct a feasibility study. If the city of San Diego wins, the lawsuit moves ahead, potentially stopping the petition process. Last year, organizers collected more than 8,000 signatures from La Jolla residents to get this proposal moving. We have now been pressing the city of San Diego for answers about a damaged road that's a safety risk for many drivers. They are promising quick repairs now to the road leading to an East County landfill. Working for you, CBS 8's Abby Black brings us the city's response after we went to them for some answers.
The area in question is right behind me. It's the eastbound left turn lane on Mast Boulevard that feeds into Republic Services Sycamore landfill. CBS 8 is working for you. We started asking questions and now we're getting answers. The city is committed to making repairs.
Working for you, CBS 8 gets immediate results. From our drone, you can see city crews surveying this damaged road. Crews that showed up within 24 hours of our inquiry.
watch as this semi's tires disappear below street level as it hits these massive ruts on Mass Boulevard's eastbound left turn into Republic Services Sycamore landfill. So we got behind the wheel to see what it's like to drive it. Okay, so we're heading east on Mass towards the lane that's of concern. We mounted cameras to show what drivers experience. Oh yeah, you can really see where this indentation is. The road looks like wet mud. Tire tracks from heavy trucks have literally pushed the pavement down. You can see the tire marks from the weight of these trucks that have pushed the road down and compromised it. I researched this, and this is called rutting, caused by heavy truck traffic sitting at this stoplight daily. Each truck creates permanent depressions made worse by heat. I called the landfill, and the person who answered the phone said that, yeah, they're aware of it. It happens often. But which city? From our drone, you can see West Hills Parkway is the borderline between San Diego and Santee, making it unclear whose responsibility it was to fix. Working for you, we tracked down the answer, confirming it's San Diego's jurisdiction. When I first reached out, a city spokesperson told me that they were aware of the situation, but no date had been set for repairs. An hour later, they sent me this updated statement, writing, in response to your inquiry, city staff reevaluated the location this afternoon, and we determined that it needs resurfacing. We're prioritizing this location for repairs and expect the work to be completed within 90 days. The city did not specify what type of repair method that they would be using, but I was looking into this and I found that there's a few ways that they can do this. They can cut out the damaged area and then they can fill it with an overlay of new asphalt, or they can grind down the ruts and then fill it. It depends what type of method they use. It could either last a few months or years. Abby Black, CBS 8.
Making those changes happen. All right, still ahead, car seat safety. We're going to show you how parents can avoid making some common mistakes. Local business owners and community leaders in Chula Vista are advocating for the return of these parklets. These are the outdoor dining areas built into parking spots. They became popular, of course, during the pandemic. Chula Vista businesses were required to dismantle their parklets last September, putting them at a disadvantage compared to other cities that do allow for these structures to remain.
When we look at communities that were able to keep their parklets, Little Italy, even everything going on downtown, it's much more lively, and it's a better for all the businesses in the community, I think.
Local business owner right there on 3rd Ave. The city of Chula Vista was supposed to have a plan for the ordinance 120 days after the parklets went away. And now the Downtown Business Association says the parklets may not come back until spring. Nearly half of all child car seats are improperly installed. This is a mistake that could be deadly in a crash, but properly secured car seats can drastically reduce injuries, which is why during Child Passenger Safety Week, we're working for you here. CBS 8's Abby Black went to the Chula Vista Fire Department to learn what every parent needs to know.
The Chula Vista Fire Department says last year they inspected 250 car seats, and 3 out of 4, that's nearly all, were not properly installed. We're working for you to make sure that your car seat is properly secured so your child is safe.
Whether it's your first time or you've done this for years, there's always something new to learn about car seat safety.
Parents, they want to make sure it's safe as possible for their kids.
Working for you, we reached out to Chula Vista Fire paramedic Benjamin Harris. He's a certified child passenger safety technician who shows us the basics that every parent or grandparent needs to know.
Here in the state of California is you have to be rear facing until you're at least 2 years old.
Harris shows us how to properly install both rear and forward-facing seats.
So it's going to be found on the back.
For rear-facing seats, Harris demonstrates the anchor system. Look for this tag to find your anchors or thread the seatbelt through with no slack. And do the inch test, a gentle tug along the seatbelt path.
No more than 1 inch of movement in either direction.
Check the level indicator and bubble.
You want to make sure that it's level so that the baby's head and posture is good.
For forward-facing seats, anchor both sides and secure the top tether to the back.
There's no test. It just needs to be hand tight.
This next step is just as critical, making sure that your child is secured in the car seat.
If the car seat's installed right, but the child's not, we're still at a high risk of fatality or severe injury.
Make sure that the chest clip is at the armpit level and do the pinch test on shoulder straps.
If you can actually pinch and lift it up, it is too loose.
For rear facing, make sure that the harness is at or below shoulders, forward facing slightly above.
That's going to be always our goal.
Harris gave us insight about used car seats.
Used car seats are okay if you know the source. So if it's from a friend, they could tell you the history of that car seat.
But he says it's never okay to use one that's been in a crash.
Once these are in an accident, these are deemed not usable.
Check expiration dates. If there's not one, look for the manufacturer sticker underneath.
Rear facing only is going to be good for about 6 years. A convertible car seat is going to be good for about 8 years.
Remember, just a few extra minutes installing it correctly could save a child's life.
The Chula Vista Fire Department has car seat inspections twice a month. To learn more, go to CBS8.com and click on the help button. Working for you in Chula Vista, Abby Black, CBS 8.
The American dream is getting more expensive. According to a new analysis from Investopedia, you'll now need more than $5 million over a lifetime. Investopedia says they looked at 8 pillars of the classic American middle-class aspiration, including retirement, owning a home, raising 2 children and paying for college, healthcare, buying a new car, yearly vacations, owning pets, and paying for a wedding. Try to figure out what your American dream is and the amount needed to make that a reality. Doesn't have to be the same as all that. And that's going to do it for us here on CBS 8. Remember, if there's something you want us to look into, you can always email us right here, working for you at cbs8.com. So glad you joined us here and have a wonderful day.